If you hire people, I want to show you how to hire the best people. According to the Society for Human Resource Management, 74% of employers admit they've hired the wrong person, myself included. If your business doesn't have a structured hiring system, growth is going to be slow because you'll hire a bunch of misfits who don't work well together and don't get your vision. A single mishire can cost your business up to 30% of the individual's first year earnings. And that's why asking meaningful questions that cut through rehearsed responses is so important. Hey, my name's Don Georgievich, and today I want to show you how to make informed hiring decisions. In the past, no one ever taught me how to conduct interviews, and I found myself falling into the trap of hiring people who weren't right for the role nor our culture, and that had disastrous consequences, my friend. I was almost fired for all the hiring mistakes that I made, but once I discovered the key to structuring my questions, it changed how I got to know each candidate, and this made it so much easier to make an informed hiring decision. Your goal is to learn something from each question you ask, right? I mean, why else would you ask it? Yet ineffective questions prevent you from learning anything meaningful about a candidate. So today I want to share with you my core insights formula for structuring your questions so you can start making better hiring decisions and hire the best people. So here's how this works. In step one, first, determine the key competencies that you need for the role. I mean, this could be leadership, creativity, team building, resourcefulness, whatever you need for the role. In step two, create specific questions aimed at assessing these competencies and do it in a way that encourages a meaningful response. Then in step three, define your criteria for assessing these responses, or just know what you're looking for with each question you ask. And then ask these questions in the interview and assess if the candidate responses brought you closer to understanding their potential fit within your company or not. And when you do that, you'll be well equipped to make an informed hiring decision. Now, let me show you what this looks like in action. So instead of asking, what did you do in your last job? Ask, how does what you do make the business money? So here's why you want to ask it. Asking this question helps determine if the candidate understands how their role impacts the company's bottom line. It could reveal whether, they can connect their daily tasks to the overall financial health and the success of your business. So let me tell you what makes for a good answer. One that clearly articulates specific actions that they've taken in previous roles that led to increased revenue or they reduce costs. And this shows they have an understanding of key performance indicators that are relevant to the position. So a poor or red flag answer would be one that focuses on tasks and responsibilities without the ability to connect them to financial outcomes, and also shows lack of understanding of how their role fits into the larger business strategy. So let's do another one. Instead of asking, what kind of work do you want to be doing? Ask, what's the one project you would dream of working on here? Here's why you want to ask it. This question encourages candidates to share their passions and align their ambitions with the company's projects, which reveals both their knowledge of the company and their genuine interest in working for you. So what makes for a good answer? A strong response should include specific details that demonstrate the candidate's research into your company and an understanding of your projects and what's going on. A poor or red flag answer would be a vague answer, or one that mentions a project that's unrelated to your business, and this can indicate that the candidate is disconnected from your opportunity. So the next one, instead of asking, have you ever failed at something? Ask, can you tell me about a time you failed spectacularly? And here's why you want to ask it. It's not about reveling in someone's past mistakes, but understanding their capacity for self-assessment and their resilience, and their answer can really help you understand how they handle setbacks, which is really important in any business. But what makes for a good answer is one that's an honest acknowledgement of a past time that they failed, one that emphasizes, what they learned and how they adapted from their failure. But a poor or a red flag answer, this would be one where they generally just avoid the question. They blame others without acknowledging any personal fault of their own or claiming that they've never failed. Like, really? So next one here, instead of asking, do you know what our company does? Ask, how would you describe our company to a friend? Here's why you want to ask it. This tells you two things: how well they understand what your business does and their ability to communicate it succinctly. So what makes makes for a good answer? An ideal answer would summarize what your company does, basically. A poor or red flag answer would be one where there's a misunderstanding of your company's purpose or just a generic description that could really apply to any business. All right, let's take a look at another one here. Instead of asking, did you like your last job? Ask, if you were given the freedom to change one aspect of your last job, what would it be and why? Here's why you want to ask this question. This question probes their critical thinking and problem-solving skills, but it also looks at their willingness to initiate change, and it helps you gauge if they're the kind of person who takes action or just prefers the status quo. So what makes for a good answer? Look for a thoughtful critique of processes or policies with sensible suggestions for improvement. And this is going to show that they're proactive and considerate about making positive changes. But a poor or red flag answer, this would be one where they're complaining about issues without any kind of solutions, or they're criticizing coworkers or managers. If that's the case, get rid of them. Next one, instead of asking, do you know what our company values are? Ask, which one of our company values resonates with you the most? Here's why you want to ask it. Discussing values up front assesses cultural fit while providing insights into their motivation and their integrity. So what makes for a good answer? A good response would link their personal values to specific company values. And what you want to do is look for examples from their experience that demonstrate these values in action. But a poor or red flag answer, this would be just a generic response that doesn't really address your company's values at all or shows a complete misunderstanding of them. Now, the last question that I want to share with you, this one's a big one. And this is one that you ask of yourself, not of the candidate. And the question is, do you want to sit down with yourself and your team, preferably your team? You really don't want to just sit there and ask yourself unless you're the only one. But ask, do they raise the bar of our team? Here's why you want to ask it. Asking this question is going to ensure that every new hire brings added value to your team. It's going to help you determine if the candidate not only fits into the existing team, but also enhances its capabilities. So what should you look for in your answer? Look for specific examples where the candidate led projects that made a noticeable difference. Check if they've shown that they can mentor other team members. See if they've come up with new ideas that brought some positive changes. And you're looking for all this from their last jobs. Now, if your answer doesn't have specific examples of how the candidate improved team performance or shows how they can inspire or influence others in a positive way, then hiring them isn't going to make your team any better. These questions work because they're designed to cut through rehearsed answers and get to the heart of what makes a candidate tick. They help you uncover not just skills, but competencies, character, and compatibility with your team. They aren't just about what the candidates have achieved, but they get to the heart of how they've achieved it and how they handle both success and failure. And this allows you to make an informed hiring decision. So keep this in mind. These questions that I just covered with you, these should not be the first ones you ask or asked in rapid succession, because you saw them in a video on YouTube, but rather interspersed throughout the interview to create a natural flow of conversation. And you ask these in between all the other questions that you're going to ask. That way you can kind of spatter them out a little bit and you'll get more natural answers to all these questions. Now, as a quick side note, when I conduct interviews, I'm totally clear about what I'm looking for, and I always ask questions with clarity and confidence. And I'm genuinely enthusiastic about both the interview process and the job opportunity. I mean, after all, if I'm not excited about the role that I'm interviewing someone for, how can I expect the candidate to be? I mean, I'm in there, I am selling this role as if I would want to do it myself. To help you improve your hiring process, I'd like to give you my hiring process map. You can see it, I actually have it right back there on the board. But this is a 7-stage process, and it distills down my decades of expertise into a clear, actionable diagram with tactics and strategies that can take your hiring to the next level. And you can get your copy from thesimplehiringsystem.com/process. And basically this walks you through each stage of the interview process and shows you the kinds of things that you should be doing and what you should be looking for. And on the back side, I have additional hiring tactics and strategies that are just basically little tricks and tips, reminders that will jog your memory before you have an interview, and you kind of just read these over and it's going to put you into a better state before you start interviewing a candidate. Now, when you're ready, I have a full-blown video-based based training program called the Simple Hiring System that's going to essentially hold your hand and show you or your team how to implement this system into your business so you can start identifying top talent and basically know it when you see it, and then you'll be able to make an informed hiring decision. Now, once you adopt this process, and I'll tell you, it's a lot easier than you might think, you're going to be amazed with the quality of your new hires, and you're going to wish you would have done this so much sooner. And it doesn't matter whether you are building new hiring procedures or aiming to improve the ones you have. This program will give you a roadmap for hiring the best people into your business. Now, if you want a demo of how this works, just shoot me a text message at 440-655-1725. Tell me you saw me on YouTube, and yes, this is actually my real cell phone number. I don't know why I'm giving it in this video, but I am. So anyways, shoot me a text message and I'll send you a link to my calendar. We'll jump on a Teams or Google Meets call and we'll see if this process makes sense for your business. Now, in the meantime, like I said, if you want to download this, head on over to thesimplehiring.com/process. You can download this whole thing front and back and take a look at it. And like I said, book a call with me. We'll see if this makes sense for you. And that, my friend, is all I have for you today. Good luck in your business and hiring the next best person on your team. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.